Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Coach Murray Show. I'm Adam Bell, along with Indians football head coach Russ Murray and Sammy Hendricks down there, our stats man. Big game last week, Coach, up in Turner County, and Sammy's going to carry us into that one.
All right. Thank you, Coach. First of all, congratulations, not only for the first win of the season, but a big win it was for the first region game, getting that big win there to start the region play.
Yeah, I appreciate that, no doubt. I'm glad we got it for the fans and the parents and especially the kids, because we've been working hard. My old saying, and I know people get tired of hearing it, but we believe in it. Try to win the day, get better and better. We've been doing that. I know it was hard to see in the big picture, but we saw it. And we really believed that we could get this game if we came out and played, which we did. From start to finish. But it took us a while to get those points, but. We kind of were on, when we talk about it, we were on worst enemies in the first half for sure. I'm super proud of the boys, and it just kind of got new life in that field house over there, and I'm happy for them. We still, and they were the first ones to say, thank Ahmad Hamilton Sr., hey, we're not done yet. So we got some more work to do. Just by winning, we made the playoffs. They're excited about that. Good. And but they're not satisfied. Right. Excited but not satisfied,
We spoke 2 weeks ago on the show. I brought up the thing about the type of season we've had. It seemed like it carried over to every game. We either had a good first half, a bad second half, or vice versa. Friday night, didn't get no points on the board the first half, but it seemed like we played a really good four quarters the whole game. Good, yeah. Especially on the defense side of the ball.
Yeah, I think so too. Our defense has been pretty much playing well. I won't say lights out, but playing well. And they have carried this team by far. You can see by all our stats and things. But, we did offensively. We moved the ball, had some good drives, and we just weren't able to put any points on the board. We weren't able to finish, but we did play a good 4 quarters, I believe,
Yep. We'll stay on the defensive side real quick before we go to the offense. Defense, they played lights out. We had 2 turnovers, actually had 2 takeaways that resulted in touchdowns. Pick 6 and a scoop 6. Jamie Jackson having both of those. Yeah. He had a great game. The secondary, I thought, played an outstanding game.
No doubt.
There was one play in the first half where they had mixed up in the secondary where they had that long touchdown pass.
Well, if you noticed our corner got picked by the umpire. I don't know if y'all noticed that.
No.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he got picked and he's laying down there. But our safety was supposed to be across over the top and him not be that wide open. Right. That was horrendous. How in the world did it happen? We were able to see with the huddle during the game. We're like, my gosh, he picked us. But, our defense did play well, and I'm super proud of that young secondary we got. I don't know what that kid from Turner, what his passing yards were. I know he'd thrown for like 18 touchdowns up to that point.
263 yards passing.
Yeah, he was the second leading passer in the state. I'm talking the entire state, all divisions. And we knew we had a huge challenge against him, and I was proud of the way our secondary played. Always kept him in front of us. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if y'all – and I got to mention one thing before I forget about it. The second play of the ball game, they hit a little out in our corner bit and missed him. And our outside linebacker, Isaac Bryant, he came all the way and ran him down like 40 yards and saved a touchdown. And that's what kind of effort we got all night. Jamie Jackson with the two defensive scores. You might as well say both of them were pick sixes because the fumble he caught in the air. He had a great night. I think he had 7 tackles and then one of them being a sack and Dylan Nixon got a pick and both my young guys, freshman Trent Hamilton, and I think he was going to be a dog one day for sure, and Brandon Woolard, they got it a pick, and I was super happy that everybody got to contribute some way, and you could tell on the sideline everybody was into it, so on and so forth, and yeah, I'm super proud of the defense. I can't say any more about them, because they know we got to get better, but super proud of their effort on Friday.
Well, what I like so much about it on the defense side, the defensive line gave pretty much a good pass rush all night long, made the quarterback move out of the pocket whichever way.
Yep.
And there was a lot of complaining, which is obvious that they would do that on the visitors on the Turner side over there about a lot of pass interference calls. I'm gonna tell you, our cornerbacks, these guys were covering them like blankets. I didn't see hardly any no pass interferences. They did a great job, especially Woolard and J.P. Tolliver had had a good game as well.
Yes, he did. He did. We didn't. I don't know. We might have got PI'd one time. I don't remember, but our guys did a good job. They were they were grabby. But you're going to get that. I thought that overall the referees called a good game, and yes, our defensive line, they caused disruption all night. And our linebackers, when we called it, I think one of our we got some package we run where we get a lot of freshmen in there, freshman linebackers, and Kayshawn Cobb, Tony's little brother. Y'all remember Tony was my first running back,
Yep.
and he we called him Pete. Pete, he got him a sack, and I thought that was outstanding. And again, I can say it over and over again. That defense played well,
right.
And they caused a lot of disruption, and that messed up the quarterback's timing for sure.
So we'll switch over to the offense real quick. The first half, we moved the ball up and down the field, couldn't ever get into the end zone. We got down to that 1 yard line to one play there right before the half ran out, had first and goal, had a little miss snap, I guess, between the center and the quarterback, and I'm assuming we were probably try to run a quarterback sneak there, and that didn't happen. But the offense, especially coming out in the second half, the offensive line even in the first half, done a great job of blocking.
Yeah. They were. Our skill guys were checked at halftime by Coach Higgins, and which they should have been. And there's no sense in us bobbling 6 snaps under center. I mean, some teams go a whole season without doing that, and we did it all in one night. And I don't know what it was, but I guarantee you we've taken a ton of snaps starting Monday. We've taken a ton of snaps under center, and that's something y'all hadn't seen in a while, though.
Right.
I told you we had some wrinkles, and we started we introduced it a little bit during Dublin, but y'all saw all kind of new stuff Friday night, and we had been working on it for several weeks, and we finally felt comfortable about getting it done. Our offensive line overall is a good, solid group. We have been outmanned probably some early in the season, but not every game. And we finally, we had some injuries, and we got them all together Friday night, and I was proud of the play for sure.
All right. Now, just going back real quick, I ain't going to hag on a lot, but, the going under center, was that something that y'all watching game field and you thought might work against Turner, or just something just a change in the offense to change some things up?
Well, when you run the ball, if you're under center, it saves a lot of time because your running backs are going to go downhill, and, it saves a lot of time, and that was something we were thinking, that we needed to hit it pretty fast. And, yes, to answer yes and no. It did have something to do with Turner, but it also had something to do with us. You're under center, you're going to hit that hole quicker, and the running back's going to be, as they say, downhill instead of kind of looking and gliding a little bit.
Right.
He's going to hit it 100 miles an hour.
Right. According to my stats, looks like what I got, we carried the ball 40 times Friday night for 321 yards. It's probably not accurate. That's not but it's pretty close.
That sounds right. 240 of them. Amari Wilson had.
Yeah,
That's
he
right.
did. And offense line, when you talked about they not great, Amari ran the ball hard
Yes,
Friday
sir.
night when he carried the ball, and as well as Maurice Sims. He only carried the ball, I think, 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, he would have carried it more, but he kind of tweaked his knee on that long run, and I didn't even know he was hurt. And that happened right at the end of the first half, right before we fumbled that ball on the one, muffed that snap, and he didn't get to play anymore. And he's questionable about Friday. He's questionable, and I go ahead and get that out there. He's not injured. He's got been diagnosed. He went to go see Dr. Jans. He's basically is tolerated. But it hurts him. Of course, we're in the 8th game of the season now, not our 7th game of the season. You're going to be kind of beat up. You're going to hurt a little bit.
Right.
But it's all going to be up to what he can do, and certainly we're not going to put him in a position to where he's going to be injured or hurt even more, because we got to have him back soon, because he does a great job playing linebacker for us too.
And going back over to Amari real quick, I had him for 28 carries, 252. That may be off again, but you get somebody like him that was carrying the ball and running like he was Friday night. That's your hot hand. You got to stick with him.
Oh, that's right. And that's what you do. And he was I guess feeling he had the mojo in him. He was feeling it and just running. And he runs a little high. He's learning how to be a running back. And so he once he gets stronger, he's going to be a force to reckon with. And I hope he does that this winter for sure.
He's a freshman or sophomore?
He's just a sophomore.
Sophomore. Okay. All right. Good. All right. Just swapping over real quick to the passing game. Nothing through the air Friday night. what do we got to do to kind of get that changed a little bit? Because, you know, we've had it happen to us already the first few games of the season. People see we ain't throwing the ball very much. We just run it. They're just stacking the front on us, trying to stop the run.
Well, that's the thing about this offense we got. They couldn't stack it because we were spread out. And, you know, I guess Friday we got in the spread to run the ball. But all those passes are there. It just, you know, we just took what they gave us, that exceptional group of defensive backs. And it would have been foolish to play in their hands, especially it was close. You know, it was close. We scored 20 points in the fourth quarter, so it was close all the way throughout, and we couldn't just turn it over. You know, and I don't know. We still do. We did the same things this week, maybe a little bit different, but I mean we worked on our passing game, and couple little wrinkles, maybe some new plays here. Not really new plays, just different variation of our routes together that we kind of like, and maybe eliminate some and things. But, you know, it's a work in progress, so hopefully we can get it going.
Right. Over on the special team side, of course, special teams always play a part in a game. Special teams done really well Friday night, covered well. Great job kicking the ball. Aiden, I think he kicked 2 extra points. That's something we really didn't have at the first of the year. He's come on, done a good job. We had one bad snap where he wasn't able to get the kickoff on them. We had a penalty that backed us up and we couldn't kick, but special teams has done it. David Walters come in and kicked the ball well, and then the coverage team covered well on kicks and punts.
David, just mentioned David. Yeah, I don't get to mention him enough, but, I mean, early in the season he caught some touchdown passes. He works his butt off. He plays good on defense with Brandon. He's had an exceptional year punting. Now, he does some – today he punted one straight up in the air. But luckily in the game, even the ones he's punted up, but he's been fortunate enough to get a good bounce for. Right. And I think that's because that youngin works so hard. That is a hard-working kid, and I'm so proud of what he's able to accomplish, you know, showing out on Friday nights. And that should tell kids just work hard, you know, and things will pay off. Right. And our special teams did pretty well. You know, it didn't hurt us. We covered the ball well. We had to kick off more than we had any. Yeah. You know, and they covered well and didn't, you know, give up the big play.
Right.
All right, okay, Coach. We haven't had a home game in over a month. It's homecoming week. I mean, he could quite literally call this homecoming this time around.
Yeah, that's right. There's several things you can say about this week. I sure am glad not to get on one of those yellow dogs for sure. Yeah. And I don't know what was the date. The last date we were September 2nd. Am I right about that?
2nd or 9th, one of the
Yeah. I can't. It may be the 9th, but still, that's an awful long time ago. And you know, it just works out that way sometimes with the schedule, and with us having that neutral game over at Brunswick, it made it even worse. But yeah, and you can see behind us there, kids are getting decorated for the prep rally tomorrow. And you know, they're excited, and the kids are excited about being here at home again. Another thing, what's that song? The boys are back in town. They just need to play that over to PA. I mean, that's the truth. I mean, the boys are going to be back in town Friday, and they're black. And man, I can't wait to see us in those black uniforms. It's been so long. Those white ones are pretty, but those black ones are just, you know, that's what we're about, you know. And I can't wait for those guys to don those black shirts and black pants and get ready to go for sure.
What are you looking for out of the ATCO offense Friday night?
Well, Coach Jones has got a pounded, like a single wing sort of offense. They're going to pound it at us. They got that big old boy running back, you know, they've had for seems like forever. He's one of them, and that quarterback. I say quarterback. They got two running backs that are like quarterbacks. Both of them will throw the ball. Both of them hand it off to each other. They do all kind of stuff. The other guys, he's just a sprinter. He gets around and goes, and they play hard. One thing I went and saw them play against Bacon County early in the year on our off day. You know, me and Coach Jones are like real great friends, and I went and saw him, sat up there with Miss Lisa and watched play. Man, those kids play hard. That's what he told. He was kind of, you know, he's had a tough time. He don't have a lot of kids, and he's had a tough time with, you know, they haven't won a ball game, and he seems to think they might not have a shot all year. But I'll tell you what, they play hard. And that's one thing, as you as a coach, and I'm sure he's satisfied with knowing that, hey, my kids are playing hard. That's all you can ask.
That's right.
And as a coach, if your kids are giving everything they have, you're going to be all right. I mean, you've won today if that's the case, and they can be scary. You know, they can beat you, and if we're not tough in there, like if we show up, we're not going to be tough. They're going to pound us, and we're going to lose that battle, and that's what I'm expecting. On defense, they got big old guys that like the stuff to run and stuff. So you may have to see some throwing this week, but we'll see how it goes. You know, but I'm expecting a good game. I'm especially in the beginning. It'll be a war. We might have some bad stuff happen in the beginning because they'll be pumped to play. You know, Coach Jones is going to have those guys ready to go, and we'll see.
I hear that. Hey, I was telling Sammy this past Friday night, I think we were in the halftime break, and we kind of hit on ATCO coming up this week, and I told Sammy, I said, I bet Coach Jones is at the house. He's got one TV on one CSN and one TV on LCN because they were off last week. He was getting the whole gamut last week.
Coach Jones was at the game.
He was at
Jones,
our game.
Yeah, he was at our
Okay.
game. We got to see him and one of his assistants, Coach McDonald. They were there, and they're doing. He's doing a great job with them. I mean, we can go back and look at how they've been doing. They're not doing that anymore. They lift weights. You know, they're going to power clean, and he's got them in the weight room, and he's got them. You know, he's got them believing, and it's going. You know, it's just like when I took over. And I know we had, you know, it's a lot different, but you know, we had to start over from scratch, and he's starting from scratch, and you know, it's going to take steps, and he's going to do a good job for sure. I can't think of anybody else that could do a better job than what he can, for sure.
Yeah, I know he's. We're all familiar with Coach Jones and old school hard nosed football.
Oh yeah,
he's going to have those boys ready.
We do a lot of things that he left his mark on. You know, he was here for 3 years, so you know he was my strength coach. My strength coach is my guys that warm them up before the games and practice, and you know his cadence and stuff we still use, and you know it wasn't broke, so I fix it. You know, so these kids love him.
Yeah.
You know, and I think he asks about every time I talk to him a lot. He talks about, he wants to know about different kids, know how they're doing, and they ask about Coach Jones, and I'm sure it's the same way. We don't want to lose to him, though. We love him, but we don't want to lose to him, and I'm sure it's the same way with him. So anyway.
Hey, I'm going to do the history of Charlton County. We've had assistants move on, like Coach Jones moves on. Can you think of just off the top of your head how many times former coaches have faced Charlton County as a head coach? That's something I was thinking about.
Well, I mean, Strickland did it when he was at I don't think we played him when he was at Fitzgerald. At Pierce, he was the coach there when we played him. As far as that's all I can remember the 29 years I've been here, you know, because there hadn't been a lot of guys lead to be head coaches other than Coach Strickland and myself and Coach Jones.
Okay.
I'm trying to think, and you know, which is so
Those
hard
are the ones
to do
that
sometimes.
made it up to head coach somewhere else.
I'm thinking there's not that many of them that became a head coach. We have some move on, but as far as head coaches, that's all I can think of.
Yeah, that's just something I was thinking about when we were doing show prep this morning when I was writing down my notes.
Well, I'm sure Glenn, when you have a question like that, you need to text Glenn Hughes because he knows right now. He knows right now, and that's one thing he knows.
Hey, it's homecoming. I know you've already touched on it. The folks in here, they're getting ready.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some of these teachers over here to get on here with me, but they won't do it.
I know. I wish I had a camera operator.
Now they
I
all
should have put
turn
the
away
motor
when
on
I
it.
say, hey, y'all come on and get in here. Now they all turn away. But anyway, they're all of them are excited about this. You know, pep rally will be a big thing. You know, you should come get some shots tomorrow.
I actually got to cover a pep rally. I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago. I was actually invited to come up here and cover a pep rally, and that was a blast. That was a great time.
Kids have
I hadn't been to a pep rally in 50 years, man.
And what I like
30
about
years.
it, what I like about it as a coach is it's taking place on a Thursday and not game day.
Yep.
And I didn't tell them this in practice because they would go overboard. They need to have the best time of their life, and I'm gonna let them have the best time of their life.
Yeah.
You know, as long as they don't start getting hurt doing things that could hurt them, they just have a great time. You know, because we don't play tomorrow night.
Yeah, they're going to have a big time tomorrow night. If you don't mind, Coach, I wanted to ask you a couple of things off the
What
field.
what if I did mine? But I'm
Yeah, this is the part where I snuck them in. We didn't
Yeah.
get the pre-approved list. No, seriously though, I wanted to ask you. GHSA passed a lot of stuff last week. They made headlines. I wanted to ask you your thoughts. First off, on the what effects you think the NIL in the future might have on small schools, if anything, on your opinion.
Well, I mean, I don't know how I don't see how a place like us will be able to produce NIL stuff. I mean, what are you going to do? Maybe Camden can with the different things they have over there. But I don't worry so much about the NIL as affecting us as much as it would if we were up in Metro Atlanta or Savannah or Albany, places like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it could. I mean, it could because we got kids. We got kids that can play.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to pan out. I'm so glad that I'm towards the end of my career having to deal with that stuff.
I don't think any of us will probably really know how it's going to affect small schools
Well,
until like 3 or 4 years down the road. We'll
yeah.
start seeing that.
Well, it's going. I mean, it definitely. There's things that go on now that I know about that I'm not going to say that it just bewilders me that people were able to get away with it. That doesn't. So it is what it is with that. I don't know.
And I hear you. Hey, the next thing is region and classification realignment next year. Any word on that?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we'll be changing much. Hopefully, our region will kind of stay the same it is. So same way it is. I kind of like it the way it is. Maybe a few more teams would be nice, but as long as not bigger teams.
All right.
Because I mean, we've kind of seen this year. I mean, I scheduled the people, and we played with them last year, but this year they were just a little bit too much.
Mm-hmm.
And we finally played a team that was our size, and you could tell the difference in the play.
Right.
And, as far as the region goes, I think they'll stay the same. I do like the idea of the privates. They have an advantage. I don't care how you put, they have an advantage.
Right.
They don't have to get all their kids from Charlton County. I mean, if we had one year, we could draw kids from Camden, from Hilliard. We could do all that. I mean, it's perfectly within the rules. A private school is set up to recruit. You got to recruit your whole student body, not just your players. So you have to recruit everybody, and I get it. Some of them don't want to acknowledge that, but that's facts.
Mm-hmm.
They have to recruit their whole student body, and that's okay. They should have a little bit more put on them. They should play. Okay, we play one championship, like they're doing, and just leave it to us public school guys to do what we do. Because I need to. We could have used another quarterback or something. We could have used another linebacker. We had a guy hurt, but we just don't have that. We have what we have. And that's my opinion on that. Hopefully they won't change too much, and I don't mind playing with the privates, but when you get in the playoffs, and you got to think of it just not just football, basketball. It only takes 5 people to play on a basketball court.
All right.
That daggum team that we played last year was a private charter, whatever you want to call it. Come on, man, you got 5 kids. Right at 7 foot.
Tall.
Come on now. And, and the boys did great, but we shouldn't. And that just, you get all the way to that point. You work your butt off the summer and stuff, and you get to that point, and that happens to you. And same way with the girls. One of the girls' teams running around was a charter school out of Lake Oconee, But, they're not private, but they are private, And I know I'll get a bunch of flack if people hear me saying it, but that's just the way I believe. If you're a private school, you're actively recruiting your whole student body. So why wouldn't you recruit your athletes?
Right.
I was going to ask you about power rankings, but that kind of goes hand in hand with what you just talked about, Doug.
Yeah, well, we're going to make a schedule out that kind of, I mean, I'm going to reevaluate some teams that we played this year. I mean, I don't know how long we can play Yulee. Yulee's sitting right at 1,600. Coach is telling me, Coach, we're going to be loaded. What in the world? We got 450 kids.
Right.
I don't want to set them. I mean, it can be done. It's been done. But you don't want to set them up for that, because we train hard. They train hard. You don't want to shatter them. But, we're not going to completely just, hey, we're going to just pick and choose our schedule so we can win. We're not going to go all the way to northwest Georgia or southeast Florida. We're not going to do that. We're going to try to get some teams that we can play with. pretty geographically close to us, and you know, some of them will help us out because they'll be bigger than us and quality programs, you know. So we'll see how that goes. You know, I caught murder trying to do this schedule last time. That's why it ended up the way it is. You know, because we were getting better. We were coming off those 2 years where we weren't that good, and then, well, you know, we were pretty daggum good last year, pretty sporty, and it was hard for me to schedule somebody. They thought, and we're not back like we used to be doing the McWhorter years. Y'all know that because kids are different, but we're trying. You know, we're trying to get that. You know, I'm so excited about our junior. Y'all heard anything about our junior high today?
I have not.
I'm so excited about those big boys they got.
I take that back. They were losing bad in the fourth quarter, yeah.
Well, I'm excited about them coming up because we got some skill guys. I already mentioned a couple of them, Cobb and Hamilton and Woolard, some of those guys in the 9th and 10th grade. And I'm wanting those big guys to come up, Phillips and Hewlin and Smith and others. And Nettles. I'm excited to get all those guys to gel together in a couple years.
All right. One last thing, Coach. We're in homecoming week, so I want to know how many. I know you might not know yet, but how many possible games are we going to have at home next year?
Well, it depends on. We're going to try 5 and 5 now.
5 and 5.
We're going to try. Yeah, we're always going to try to do that.
I know our Road Warriors would appreciate that.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, we would have had. The only reason why it's 4 this year is because Dublin game got messed up.
Right.
It was going to be 5 and 5 this year, just like last year. But, you know, Dublin, the hurricane, which we can't do anything, messed us up last year. So we had to go to them. So we'd have been fine by not honoring our contract had we not played them last year. You know, it was our homecoming and stuff. It kind of got screwed up. But we'll always shoot for 5. You know, I never want us to hang on 4, you know, but always shoot for 5.
One more thing, Coach.
So you said
the
that
maidens,
3 times ago.
I know, but this is non-football related.
Oh, okay.
Non-football related. Our Charlton County Maidens are the 2 seed. The only thing I don't like about this whole playoff thing, the girls are a 2 seed, but we got to hit the road next week.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. I mean, I don't know what they go 4 teams and play in one spot. Is that what they do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they play? Do they have a tournament, or they play? I play you. He plays somebody else, and then the winners play. Do they do it like that?
I think it's 2 out of 3.
But we do it like that. We don't play boom and get in a loser bracket like the okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wish they could play at home. I mean, the girls work hard just as hard as the boys, and I do love watching play. And I got little cousins out there playing, and I've known these girls, you know, being out here at school.
You're a big Maidens fan.
And you know, I hate it that they don't get to play at home. Maybe they'll look at that and kind of reevaluate that whole scenario. You know, I mean, shoot, when they get after this, they go and play in Columbus, right? They get 8 of them and go play in Columbus.
Yep.
So I don't know. I don't know about it. You know,
they still haven't released all of the brackets yet, but we have a partial one released today, and it looks like the first game for the Maidens will be against Montgomery County.
Okay.
We're still not sure if we're going to Baconton or not for all this.
Oh, really?
They still don't know that yet. But.
Well, maybe we'll get in a good spot anyway. I sure hope, you know, we have some luck on our side. You know, the girls play hard. I think I ain't got to see them play as much this year, but it seems like, I mean, they've done well in the region. They've only lost 2 region games. It seems like they have one bad inning, like we'll have one bad quarter or one bad half, and it kind of gets them behind. That's what it kind of said about the game yesterday. But, you know, I'm excited for them making the playoffs. You know, 2 seed, that's not too shabby.
No.
And I'm proud of coaching the girls, and you know, and I hope they can just take it on, just win that day and go to the next one.
I have no more questions, Coach.
All right.
You got anything, Sammy?
I'll just close it out by saying, look, Coach, this Friday night, homecoming 2023, there'll probably be a lot of people there. Go get region win number 2.
I hope so. You know, like I said, I'm so happy for everybody, not just us, because I mean, those stands were outstanding Friday. We had a bunch of people there showing up.
We have more than Turner did.
Yeah, showing up for a team that hadn't done real well, you know, and that meant a lot to me as their coach. And they love those boys. Miss Bailey, Ma Bailey came and talked to the boys on Tuesday. She saw me Monday. She goes, I come out and talk. I said, yes, ma'am, you're always welcome in my field house. And she came, and the boys all knew who she was. And You know, she told a little bit about herself, how long she been. She said, "We love you." And they took it, okay, they took it. You know, and I told them, I said, see, boys, a lot of people are behind you. And sometimes, and y'all been there, so if you know people are behind you, you're going to fight harder. Right. And I think that had a lot to do with it. And I'm excited that we're at home. I think this gym, I was so excited today that I was told that I didn't have to clean up after the pep rally because they have a 70s decade reunion and they want all this stuff in here. I'm like, fantastic. I don't have to clean up. And because this is my classroom now, this gym. Yeah. And so there'll be a bunch of the 70s, people here and a lot more. I hope to have those stands packed, and I hope we do get that number 2 for this year.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I guess we're going to head on out.
Coach, I appreciate you. Yes, sir.
I appreciate you. Appreciate you letting us do it over here a little bit different.
Well,
venue
yeah, I
tonight.
thought it'd be different. Maybe some kids to see themselves on it. Like I said, I wish some of the teachers would have got in, but they all shunned me when I mentioned their name.
And we can't get them over here and wave by again.
No.
They're not going to do that. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great night. Thank you for watching the Coach Murray Show. We'll see you live Friday night, 7:30, homecoming festivities at halftime, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll see y'all Friday night. Have a great night, everybody.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah.